All right, today we're going to jump into a short, but honestly, an incredibly powerful story. It's all about turning struggle into strength, an idea we're calling building in the storm. And you know what? It all kicks off with just one single simple line. A boy there was who had no shoes. Wow. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. This one line, it isn't just about being poor. It's the entire foundation of the story we're about to tell. It just instantly paints this picture of, real daily hardship. So let's take a closer look at what that struggle was actually like. Okay, so part one, the struggle. This is about his daily journey, a real battle against the odds. Just try to picture that for a minute. His walk to school, it wasn't just a walk, it was a battle. He was literally fighting stones with every single step he took. Can you imagine? It was this constant, physical, painful reminder of what he didn't have. And the struggle, it wasn't only physical. The problem was his hardship was out there for everyone to see. So that pain from the stones under his feet, it was matched by a totally different kind of pain. The emotional pain of kids taunting him, of being judged by others. So, part two is called A Night in the Storm. And this is the moment that changed absolutely everything. I mean, this daily grind, it could have easily broken him, right? But then a catalyst arrived, a literal storm that would become the turning point for his entire life. It was this awful chain reaction, like dominoes falling. First, it was a rainy day, and he slipped on the wet ground. Simple accident. But the consequence, his copybook got completely soaked. And the outcome of that? Well, he failed his test. It just goes to show you when you're already struggling, one tiny piece of bad luck can feel like a total catastrophe. Now, he had every single reason in the world to just give up, to quit. But that night, something changed. Something inside him shifted. The focus went from everything that was happening to him to what he was going to do about it. He didn't just sit there and hope things would get better. No, he made a plan. All right, moving on to part three, every stumble, a step. This is all about forging a path forward. So what was this plan of his? Well, this is where he started to figure out how to take all that hardship and turn it into fuel. His plan was actually really simple, but so powerful. Think about it. He didn't have a light at home? No problem. He studied under a streetlight. He needed money, resources. He went out and did odd jobs. But the real game changer, the real magic here was his mindset. He decided to make every stumble a step forward. He reframed every single failure not as a dead end, but as another stepping stone on his path. And that brings us to part four, shoes full of hope. So after all that work, after that huge shift in his mindset, where did it all lead? Well, the result is this incredible, kind of perfect, full circle moment. The transformation is complete. Just look at this. The transformation is staggering. On the one hand, back then, he was the boy who went to school barefoot. And now he's the man who makes shoes for other children. I mean, get this. He didn't just solve his own problem. He became the solution for countless others facing the same struggle. And let's talk about the shoes he actually makes. They're cheap, right? So other kids can actually afford them. They're strong, so they can stand up to that fight against the stones that he knew so well. But most importantly, they are full of hope. See, he wasn't just selling footwear. He was crafting a message. He was saying, hey, I get it. I understand your struggle, and you don't have to walk this path alone. And this is the core idea, the very essence of what we're calling building in the storm. It's this powerful concept that you don't just sit around and wait for the rain to stop. You don't wait for the past to magically clear itself. No, you look around you. You find the tools you have right now, right in the middle of all the chaos, and you just start building. Okay, last part here. Part five, the true meaning of success. So what's the big takeaway? Why does this one boy's story matter so much? Well, because the true meaning of his success, it holds a lesson that applies to every single one of us. Here it is. This is the ultimate lesson. Success is not about where you start, but that you don't stop. It really doesn't matter if you start with no shoes or zero resources or with all the odds stacked against you. The one thing, the defining factor of success in this story is just pure perseverance. It's the simple but incredibly powerful act of just not stopping. We all face our own storms, don't we? challenges at work, in our personal lives, with our biggest goals. And what the story of the boy with no shoes really teaches us is that these storms, they aren't just obstacles to get through. They're actually construction sites. They're opportunities. So I want to leave you with this thought. Take a good look at your own challenges, your own storm, and ask yourself, what are you building in yours?